All right, hello students, I'm Nate, I'm your instructor for marketing. This is our first recorded lecture. I'm giving you a video of me covering chapter 1, the chapter 1 slides, because the narrated PowerPoint sometimes is buggy and it doesn't open for students. So what you can do here, if you weren't able to get the narrated PowerPoint, what you can do is pull up that chapter 1 file from the lecture file, and then split your screen and have half of your screen on your computer have that file, and you can scroll down each slide. And then the other half of your screen will be me talking to you with this short video, kind of explaining the key terms. So this is kind of our end around in case PowerPoint doesn't work for you. Okay, so we're kind of starting to walk before we run here on some key marketing terms, things like target markets and demographics, etc. So what you want to do with each chapter is look at the key term slide, which is usually one of the first few slides that you'll see when you pull up that chapter. And those are the terms that you should know before you dive into the assignments, which are the written assignments, which are the discussion board assignments. So for chapter 1, what you'll see on the key term slide, and you can scroll down to get to that slide, it's after I talk about being self-reliant and cultivate self-determination for the course. Is the key term slide. So that's your third slide. Marketing concept, target markets, demographics, psychographics, segmentation, and the correlation between demographics and media. I also gave you a link to the American Marketing Association dictionary. If you can't find the terms in your book, you can use that site as a backup. It does not, however, replace needing the textbook. You should get a used copy of the textbook. That's the only resource I'm asking you guys to buy for this course. You don't have to buy any Publisher Connect. You can use an old version of the textbook, but you do need to get the textbook. All right, so next slide, slide 4. We're talking about the marketing concept. So the marketing concept is just a simple concept that says there's 3 parts to a company being successful from a marketing standpoint: customer satisfaction, total company effort, and profit. So when you think about it, you can be you can satisfy your customers if you give your product away, and the whole company can have an effort behind doing that, but you won't make any profit. So there's 3 legs to the marketing concept. And what this concept means is, for a company to be successful from a marketing standpoint, they need to focus on customer satisfaction first. It needs to be a total company effort, meaning everybody in the company is focused on customer satisfaction. It's not just the responsibility of marketing. The whole company is geared around satisfying the customer. And then third, you're obviously making a profit. No profit, no business. So those 3 things are the marketing concept. And when a company doesn't adopt the marketing concept, we call that a production-oriented company. An example of that would be like when I worked at Petco as a regional marketing manager. They were a production-oriented company. Marketing didn't have any say in what products were designed or purchased or stocked for the customers. It was simply purchasing has bought these products, marketing figure out how to unload them to the customers. A marketing-oriented company that adopts the marketing concept is the whole company is geared around talking to the customer, getting market research, focusing on customer satisfaction, and all the decisions made for the company, how they move forward, are based on that marketing concept, that marketing-oriented focus. Better to work as a marketer in a marketing-oriented company. Tend to be bigger departments. Marketing has more power in the company, and they're just more customer-forward companies as a whole, like your Apples, your Starbucks, your Disneys, etc. So that's the marketing concept. 3 pieces to it: profit, total company effort, satisfy the customer. Your next slide, slide 5, I believe, talks about target markets, demographics, psychographics, and segmentation. Target markets are a way of identifying your core customer. So as marketers, we always say, my target audience is, or my target market is, and then you describe what your typical customer is. When I was at Jack in the Box, as a product manager, we said our target market here at Jack in the Box is men between the ages of 18 to 34 who frequent fast food 6+ times a month and have a household income of $35,000 plus. So we're using demographic language to describe who our ideal customer is. So as a very rudimentary starting point as a marketer, you should always be able to describe who your target market is for your business. And we do that using demographics and also psychographics. So let me explain what those are. Demographics, and you see that on the slide there next to the Burger King picture, are very specific, kind of crude ways of identifying your target audience. Age, gender, ethnicity, education level, household income, where you're located. These are demographics. So they're putting you into specific categories, specific boxes. You're a white male, ages between 18 to 24, who eats fast food 6+ times a month. That's demographic language. Psychographic language, and you see that to the right of the Burger King picture, is softer ways of describing your ideal customer, your target market, your target audience. Those are interchangeable. Attitudes, interests, opinions, they're not as clear-cut. Somebody might be a conservative. Somebody might be a lawyer, but they ride Harley Davidsons and they're kind of a biker mentality. So psychographics are these other things: personality, values, attitudes, their interests, and their lifestyles. A little harder to aggregate those. And then the third, and I'll get back to demographics in a second. So demographics and psychographics, we use those as a combination to describe who our target market is. Jack in the Box, our target audience demographically is men age 18 to 34, household income of 35+, who frequent fast food 6+ times a month. If I was to say psychographically, furthermore, they have a young striver attitude. They're on the go. Maybe we have some additional research that we know about that target audience. They tend to work these specific types of jobs and have these kind of political views, etc. That would be psychographic language. Okay, item 5 is segmentation. Segmentation is simply, as a marketer from a strategic standpoint, when you look at the business you have and the industry that you operate in, you start with a very, what we call, generic product market. Generic product market is just a broad category for the industry that you do business in. Maybe you're Schwinn bicycles or Trek bicycles. You're in the bicycle user, bicycle rider segment. That is your generic product segment. If you're Jack in the Box restaurant, I keep saying Jack in the Box because they're here in San Diego and I used to work for them. Jack in the Box is in the fast food segment, specifically burger, what we call burger and fry segment. We could segment fast food as a general category into quick service restaurants, and there you have pizza, you have burger and fry categories, you have chicken like your El Pollos and your Chick-fil-A's, and certainly your KFC's, and then we could segment even further down into those subsegments. Or maybe it's bike riders, and we could segment by types of bike: mountain bike riders, beach cruisers, triathlete bikes, road bikes, kids bikes, electric bikes. So you can segment in a number of different ways. But the definition of segmentation is you start by a 10,000-foot view, backing up and looking at what industry are we in, what's our generic product category that we're in, and then what are all the different segments within this broad product category. And that can be by product type, or it can be by user, or it can be by their location. So you can segment in a number of different ways. But it helps you as a marketer kind of take a big look at the industry that you're in and say, here's the segment that we want to go after. Here's the piece of pie that we're going to focus on. Or here's here's a piece of pie that no one's really addressing. That's the process of segmenting. It's just like taking a big pie, generic product category, and dividing it up. All right, the last slide, slide 6. Correlation between demographics and media buying. So going back to demographics, demographics are crude bucketing ways of defining your target audience: age, income, gender, ethnicity, race, education level, where you're in a very specific box, like when you fill out a college application. And here we see a picture on this last slide, slide 6, of some guys watching TV, some different ethnicities, but they all look like they're about the same age, and they're consuming TV, a media vehicle. Media is broad: TV, print, radio, outdoor, social media, mobile advertising, on down the line. It's all media, And regardless of what the media form is, the purpose of media is to deliver certain target audiences to advertisers. So that map you see there is what we call a DMA map of the United States. DMA stands for Designated Market Area. It's more commonly known as a TV market map. So you see all those little dots, those are little individual TV markets. If you look in California, you can see that San Diego's down there in the white. That's a TV market. You can buy media and run it just in the San Diego market. LA, the blue above, and magenta there is Palm Springs, and et cetera, et cetera. So, but as a marketer, you need to know what the demographics are of your target audience so that when you go out to place an ad or social media or whatever it is and you want to reach your target audience, you have to know what the demographics are of your target audience so you can find media vehicles that are going to deliver that demographic. You wouldn't want to be Jack in the Box and advertising on The View. The View is women watch The View primarily, like vast majority women watch that show. However, ESPN, okay, that makes sense, right? That's men are watching that. So you got to fish where they're biting, as we would say. And if as a marketer you don't know what the demographics are of your target audience, then you're not going to make sound media decisions, and you're going to be advertising where your customers are not. It's not a good idea to just, oh, let's just put our name out there. Everybody's our customer. That's really not the case. You got to have a focused strategy, very clear on who your target audience is, very clear on what their demographics are, very clear on what their psychographics are, and then very specifically finding the absolute best media vehicles that are going to deliver you the largest percentage of that target audience. That's it for Chapter 1. Thanks for listening. More to come.